Hi, my name is Alexis Leviri, and this is my Faith and Learning statistical presentation. This study was done on 415 participants. This first slide goes over their beliefs in God and the Bible. So row number one represents people that believe that the Bible is the actual Word of God and is to be taken literally. Row number two are those that believe that the Bible is the inspired Word of God, but not everything is to be taken literally. Number three are those that the Bible is an ancient book of fables. Row number four are those that believe that the Bible has some other origins but is recorded by men. And then the fifth row indicates some data that is missing. This next slide goes over the same data that I had just shown you, but we use two different graphs instead of a contingency table. So the graph on the left is a bar graph, and the graph on the right is a pie chart. The next category that we will discuss is gender. So both of these charts are showing the comparison of male to female that participated in the study. So number one on both of the graphs would be males, and on both the charts, number two would be females. So if we're looking at frequency, there was 198 males that participated, and for females, there were 217. Relative frequency is looking at the ratio of males versus total number of participants, and vice versa, females and total number of participants. So there was 47.71% were males that participated, and there were 52.28% of females that participated. So this shows that this study was slightly more female dominant with those that were in the study. Here I have presented a contingency table of Bible versus gender. So what is the probability that a person is male and believes that the Bible is the actual Word of God and is to be taken literally? So we'll look at column 1 and row 1. So the answer would be 55. What is the probability that a person is female and believes that the Bible is the actual Word of God? Here we'll look at row number 2 and column number 1. So the answer is 63. This next category is age. So we have a pie chart again that shows the different ratios of all the age groups that were in the study. And then on the right, it just shows I would say a cleaner looking graph. So the ages were between 10 and 20. There were 8 that participated. People between 20 and 30, there would be 77. Those between 30 to 40 would be 86. Between 40 and 50 would be 79. 50 to 60 would be 68 people. 60 to 70 was 46. 70 to 80 is 32. And 80 to 90 is 19. So it looks like the majority of people that were in this study were in the age range of 30 to 40 because that had the highest relative frequency and highest frequency. Here we're showing a box plot and the 5-number summary. So this is still based off of age. So it's showing the lowest age that was in this study to the highest age range in this study. So that would be the minimum and the maximum number on the 5-number summary chart. And then quartile number 1 would be 31. And then the median, so the absolute middle number of all the participants, was age 44. And the third quartile would be age 59. So quartile 1 and quartile 3 are the medians between the lowest, the minimum number to the median, and then again the middle number of the median and the maximum number. These next few slides are looking at education levels. So the numbers in the pie chart here represent the grade that they're in. So number 12 would be 12th grade, number 8 would be 8th grade, and so on. Again, this is the same data, but just written in a frequency table instead of a pie chart. These two charts are looking at people with degrees that were in this study. So 0 is indicating that they don't have any degree yet. Number 1 is showing that they have a high school diploma. Number 2 is their junior college. Number 3 is for their bachelor's. And number 4 is they have a graduate's degree. These next charts show the race of those that participated in the study. Number 1 are those that were white, number 2 are those that are black, and number 3 are those that are other than white or black. The next variable in this study is looking at monetary amounts of those that donate to the church that they go to. So those that donated 0 to 2,000 was in one grouping. The next group was $2,000 to $4,000. The next was 4,000 to 6,000, then 6,000 to 8,000, and 8,000 to 10,000. And this was for a 1-year sum. So here represents a dot plot of that same information of donation amounts in 1 year. It shows that the mean amount, so the average amount of money donated per this population was $1,000 and $1,021. The most frequent number donated was $100. The middle amount donated was $815, and the range from the highest to the lowest amount given was 9,000, and then standard deviation. So how far it deviates from the middle would be 1,078. On the left, this chart shows a 95% confidence interval for the average donation of all parishioners based on this sample. On the right is a graph is shown to answer the question if the probability of the donation in a given year is 0.70, what's the likelihood that at least 9 out of 10 parishioners does donate? So if we look at that last number under the graph on the right, it shows that it is 0.1493. So percentage-wise, the likelihood of at least 9 out of 10 donating would be 1.5%. Here I have charted the donation data that was collected. Is the donation data normally distributed? If we look at the two graphs, the one on the left is a histogram and the one on the right is a QQ plot, we can determine that the data is not normally distributed. So because the histogram is not symmetrical and the QQ plot is not linear, that's how we can decide whether this data is normal or not. Does it matter whether the data are normal in analyzing our data? No, data can be normal or abnormal. It's just important to use proper testing. Since our data is abnormal, we would not be able to utilize a z-test or a t-test for reliable data and would have to utilize other means. In conclusion, we can determine that the population for this study was mostly white in race and near 50-50% male to female ratio. The majority of the sample size have a high school diploma and ranging from 18 to 89 years old. 415 people participated in this sample and have different views in the Bible and different monetary ranges for church donations.